delighted to report to you today our endorsement of a 4-team seeded playoff.
Good news, college football fans. College football finally has a playoff.
College football playoff.
Demands of a playoff. You got it.
College football playoffs.
So excited, and it's brought to you by the same people that brought us to BCS and hated the idea of a playoff. I'm so scared.
2014? That's preposterous. We'd be at war with the machines. That was a year that featured OBJ's catch,
Might be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
LeBron's return to the land, and the disappointing end
It's How I Met Your Mother.
to How I Met Your Mother.
That's it.
3 teams knew they were in, while the Buckeyes were breathing down TCU's neck for the last spot. The Frogs had clinched a share of the Big 12 Conference and liked their chances of getting in, given that Ohio State was starting a third-string QB against a 10-2 Wisconsin team. Gary Patterson must have eaten his visor as the Buckeyes waxed the Badgers 59-0 and snagged the final playoff spot.
Who will play Alabama? And it will be the Buckeyes of Ohio State.
That's shocking.
But how did the Buckeyes win so easily? I mean, Wisconsin's previous 2 losses came by a total of 10 points. It was almost too easy. There's only one possible explanation. Conspiracy. So throw on your tinfoil hat and follow me down the rabbit hole. What if Gary Anderson threw the game? The Big Ten knew it was in trouble if it missed the playoff. That would be missing out on fat sacks of cash and a truckload of national exposure. Here at Sideline Dynasty, we're convinced that Big Ten and OSU execs colluded with Coach Anderson to make Ohio State look as good as possible and help them leapfrog TCU. Moderate pun intended. Here are the facts.
Fact. Bears eat beets.
It's not like Anderson was on the hot seat. Before the 2014 season, he received a raise and an extension from Wisconsin. He had won 19 games in 2 years in Madison. But just 3 days after the Ohio State debacle, he bolted for Oregon State? That's the smoking gun. Nobody would call Oregon State a better program than Wisconsin. Okay, but Anderson got a huge raise, right?
Wrong.
That is absolutely
Wrong.
proved over and over again.
Wrong.
He actually had
Plus, at the time, the Big Ten West was much easier than the Pac-12 North. He traded Iowa and 5 easy wins for these guys.
You say you have to go with the Vikings in the cold weather. If it's at sea, you have to go with the Pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything.
And what better place to count your dirty money than a Pac-12 bottom feeder in rural Oregon? Alabama reruns get airtime over live Beaver games. In fairness, that Beaver logo should never see the light of day. But now that we've established the real truth, how high does this thing go? Ohio State was certainly a bigger TV draw than TCU. Was the selection committee involved? What about ESPN? And surely the NCAA's corruption record speaks for itself. We'll never know. All tinfoil hat theories aside, Ohio State did beat Alabama and Oregon, probably the 2 best teams in the country that year. So it's tough to argue that they didn't deserve that giant lipstick tube, but should they have been in the playoff in the first place? You tell me.
This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.